two colors, green and red. Our special guest, Peter Kilcullen, is coming out. Look at you.
How's it going? How are you?
I have a friend who's a comedian, and she's called the Verbal Assassin.
Is that right?
Yes, yes. But
I'm
this one is the
work.
Rude Assassin.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I mean,
yes,
listen,
her name's Tammy. She's very funny.
This is anyone who has struggled with a regular
Yes.
shovel is going to want the Rude Assassin. It is really unlike any other shovel, and it really solves all the problems. Have you been used to doing a lot of work with the shovel in the garden?
You know what? I have
That's
to
a
be
no.
honest. I do not
Okay.
do a lot of work because it looks like it's too hard for me to do.
Well, you know what? It really is a lot of
To
work.
be honest.
So here's the thing about using a regular shovel. First thing, can be very difficult to, even penetrate the ground to get that shovel into the ground. But this arrowhead design that you're getting on the Root Assassin makes that easy immediately. You can see it's got that folded over step, so you can really get a good spot for your foot, because that's important. You have to step down, push that shovel in. But then the serrated edges on this make all the difference. We have 16 of those serrated edges on both sides, so 16 on either side of the Root Assassin. And here's the biggest problem with digging any hole or digging any garden are the roots associated with everything that you've planted, everything that you're trying to remove. And you know what? I brought the other shovel. And this is what everyone kind of deals with. And what you're doing with this is when you start to tackle these roots, this is what I've been doing forever. You turn it around, and now I'm chopping and chopping and chopping, and it's a ton of work. So here's what's so cool about this. With the Root Assassin, when you have those serrated edges, here's what's amazing. They're sharpened on both sides. So as I push this down, or I have my foot on it, I'm going to push this down next to the root. I'm going to be able to slice through that root. And as I pull back, I'm slicing against that root as well. So both directions. So here's again a super common thing that you're doing with the shovel. Taking dead or plants that you no longer want. You have maybe overgrown. I spent at least an entire weekend removing a whole hedge line. So we've cut all the hedges now, but now you have countless stumps and the shorter pieces, the root system, and a shovel like this. Now I did not have this. Look at it cutting the root back and forth. All I remember is that chopping action where I'm forcing that regular shovel down, but this one is actually cutting those roots. It's amazing.
What a great idea. Honestly, what a great idea. It makes, now that I see it, it makes total sense. It's one of these, why didn't I think of that?
Exactly, when you see all the different things that they designed on this. So again, if you just think of it, this as an arrowhead design, so it's able to get into that ground a lot easier. And then even this curved part at the front, but it's hard to see, but they've even, flattened that. It's kind of sharp.
Is it a little beveled?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bevel is exactly what it is.
I pulled a word out of my jewelry pocket.
I was going to say. So it's beveled. So again, that's going to get into the dirt first. This is all going to follow. And then you can even see the design in the middle. It works so well. And then look at that. You've never seen these serrated edges on both sides of that shovel so you can get down. And I was talking about that folded over step. That's what you have. Let's just go this way. The folded over step is what you put your foot on, so you can get that extra, force. So you push that down into the ground, cutting those roots in both directions. It really is amazing.
All right, we have two colors. I've got green and I've got red. The red I have about 1,200, but in the green I have about 900. So the green is more limited at $39.95. I think this is a great addition. Now, it may not be everybody watching. Some of you may live in apartments and you may say, well, I don't need this. However, if you need this, you need this. And this is like a cannot live without. If you're watching this video and you're like, I've been there, I have this project planned, and I was dreading it because I know that it's just gonna take so much. It's not you. If you don't have the right tools, cutting that root system, especially with the serration, it's doing some of the work so you don't have to exert yourself as much.
Absolutely. And this is the time where maybe we're thinking about, okay, the garden from last year, maybe it's overgrown, maybe you just want to do something new and different with it, so you've got to clear it out. So certainly having the regular shovel is going to come in handy as well. But the initial work of removing all those old dead plants that have just been laying there through the winter, this is going to be exactly what you need, because it makes that job so much easier when you see that, the serrated edges that can cut through those roots, that can get rid of all that material, all that root and plants from last season. This is exactly what you want. So 48 inches, here's the other part, 4.4 pounds carbon steel. I don't know if you noticed my shovel. This is the one this is the actual shovel I've done all that horrible work with.
Oh, really?
This is my shovel. Rusted. So this is not gonna rust because it's that powder-coated carbon steel. It's super strong but lightweight. Even the handle's extremely lightweight, so you're not gonna have to worry about that.
It looks like more like a comfort handle. This
Yeah.
one doesn't even have a handle.
No, exactly. So again, when you want to be able to stand up, there you see him doing, he's doing exactly. You have that, you can put both hands at the top of that, just like he's doing. Step
yeah.
on that with that folded over step, and then you're pushing that arrowhead design into the ground, but then cutting through both directions as you go in and out with those serrated edges. They can be sharpened if you need to, if it's the following season, but that's super lightweight, carbon steel, it's not going to rust. That it 4.5 pounds.
I'm trying not to sneeze. You ever make those weird faces? There's a lot of pollen out here.
You've been sneezing a lot out here.
I know, sorry.
Here, I want you to hand this.
Thank you very much.
No, how light it is.
Oh,
again,
do you
you're
know
talking about a super strong shovel, but
all right.
4.4 pounds.
So what Peter is pointing out is that I am not that strong. However, even
not
I
directly,
can
indirectly.
Indirectly, Peter is not wrong when he points out that this is actually something that I could use and that is super lightweight. And again, if you've got the right tools, and I feel like that's true no matter what you're doing, if you've got the right tools, it makes it doable. It makes it, you're able to do that. If you've got something, getting the root system out, you know, if you don't get the root system out, you haven't really done the job. Right?
Absolutely.
You're gonna have the same problem over and over if you don't get the root. So the serration really cuts through that root, doing the work for you. And again, one-handed, it is so lightweight. What does this weigh? 4.41 pounds?
Yeah.
And on my card, it actually says that there's a limited lifetime warranty for the product. I mean, that's pretty rare.
Exactly, carbon steel, it's not gonna rust, it's super strong. And we're talking about the garden, but there was another project I did that was horrible when it came to a shovel. So I added an irrigation system. Actually, I was connecting some irrigation to our downspouts, and I ran it all the way out to the front yard.
Right.
But we have a couple of big oak trees in the front yard, so now I have to deal with all those roots as I'm doing that. If I had this, you know that funny handsaw you were using with Bobby? That was me down in the ditch that I was digging, trying to cut the roots because the shovel couldn't do it. But this root assassin would do that.
Right,
it would really cut that job in half. Easier getting into the ground, easier cutting those roots. So think about any of those jobs where you're digging a ditch, a trench, you're trying to do some irrigation on your front lawn, certainly the garden. If you have dead trees, you want to maybe even if you are going to move some plants, you're going to be able to do a better job at replanting and transplanting with something like this because you can get some clean cuts a little bit further out from that plant.
I love the price
it's
too. It's only $39.95, and you know, how much would you pay to even hire somebody to come out and do like one tree, one bush or something? But Peter, I've never presented this before, so I really don't know. That Root Assassin, is that literally the brand name?
Yeah, so we've had
Did
the
somebody
Rake
invent
Assassin.
this? Oh, you have the Rake, oh,
And
I see.
here's what's so cool about it. Everything that, so Root Assassin and we had the Rake Assassin, they've taken these tools that we've used for so many years and made them ultimately so much better and so much easier for you to use. Make those jobs last a shorter amount of time, but get the job done right. So this one is exactly that. If you've been using a regular shovel, this is going to be amazing because the worst part of digging is always going to be the roots. And with the serrated edges, we can take care of that. It cuts both when you push down into the ground and up. And I think also you'll find that it's a great length. At 48 inches, it's nice to be right here as opposed to when I have this one, I mean,
It's
you
a
would
little
think
bit,
it'd be,
how do you get above it to push down?
Exactly.
Because it's so tall.
You would think it'd be better, like, oh, look, it's nice and tall, or the handle's nice and long. But this is right at about the perfect spot, so you can get your foot on there, drive that down into the earth, and then you can also both directions cutting those roots. So it's brand new. I have never seen anything like it. First time we've had it here at HSN, obviously. I have not had a chance to really go to town with this yet. I need a big job, and it's going to happen soon.
Yeah, and I
Clearing
think a lot of people, you know, the ground is sort of thawing, and people, you know, that's another thing I wanted to say. A lot of people, when they start doing this work, the ground is, because we're here in Florida, I grew up in upstate New York,
Yes.
the ground is cold. And when it's cold and even starting to thaw, the idea of having that other shape, like getting into that harder ground, you're able to like get into like a colder, harder ground with that shape, because otherwise you're gonna be like, okay, what month do you have to wait for? Do you have to wait till June in order to start doing any of these things?
Yeah, you can get a jump start,
if your ground isn't, you know, even quite defrosted yet.
Yeah, you can absolutely start that a little bit earlier.
A little bit earlier.
It really works.
Yes.
4.4 pounds, carbon steel. It's going to last 48 inches. It really does the job. Completely different than that regular shovel, which you still may need if you're just going to be moving a lot of soil.
I was going to say, what I would do is I would cut the roots with that, and if you have a bunch of stuff to move out, then you can get in other
Yeah,
things.
once you've broken all that soil up, once you've taken care of all those roots and you've done everything, you know, this might come in handy. But again, this is something that's completely different.
Right.
And when you look at what the limitations are on a regular spade shovel like that, this solves all of them, and it's going to make that job a lot easier. So if you're looking to just clean out your garden, start from fresh, and then you're going to turn that soil and then replant in the spring, you are going to need that root assassin to get that all cleared out.
Is this something that like somebody invented, like those 2 assassin products, where like you know, you said it's kind of like reinventing the
they
regular.
were not invented by an assassin, if that's what you're asking. So
I
no,
wasn't asking.
no, that's not true.
No. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
It's just
thank
a brand name.
I was curious what kind of person invented it.
Yeah, well, no, I mean,
no, I love the name.
No, the name.
No,
again,
because it's reinventing something,
Exactly.
or it's a solution for a problem. We didn't know that. You know, when I was thinking.
Oh, you didn't know. I know.
Yeah, because
you
I have to
suffer
be
through
honest,
these roots.
I have not personally suffered through that.
Yes,
Full
I have.
disclosure, I'm not in the backyard doing that. But if you have, boy, this would be great to have an item. And maybe if you're watching right now, if you know somebody that would love this, grab it at $39.95. $13.12 is your flex pay. When you spend $75 on anything, you get free shipping and handling. For example, if you got the Today Special, as long as you spent over $75 from midnight to midnight, you get free shipping and handling on all your orders. So before the day is out, make sure you grab everything that you need. And this is something that I've never seen this available like in stores or out there. We get a lot of specialty things here at HSN.
Yeah.
So Peter, thank you so much for bringing this to, how many,
Thank you.
This isn't your first presentation of it, or is it?
This is the very first time we've shown it here.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, because I've never
look.
presented this before.
No, it's
That's
really
really
amazing.
Cool. What a great solution.
Exactly, for sure.
To a very
I know
specific problem.
Exactly.
You know, and again, you're going to love this. You're going to love it. So thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Are you back later today with
No,
this?
this is it.
This is one and done.
That's
okay,
it.
there you go. All right.